right.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes a Spider-Man.
All right, hello. Greetings, web spinners. Welcome to your friendly neighborhood online open mic night experience round 2. Woo! Courtesy of your friendly neighborhood performers. I'm your delighted host, Brittany Cohen, and I am so excited to have you guys here. It's a wonderful holiday weekend. It's a beautiful night. I'm excited to share love through the screen with you guys again. We have a short and sweet lineup this week, but all amazing performers that I'm delighted to share with you. That, as always, I want to start off by talking about the reason we're here. So as I mentioned last week, when we first started as Pandemic Passion and Poetry, we were mostly into promoting GoFundMe pages specific to supporting those struggling from COVID-19. But with great power comes great responsibility, and we have way more responsibilities out there. So we have now expanded to not only supporting those struggling from COVID-19, but also at-risk and hungry and neglected kids out there, the LGBTQ community. We're supporting the Black Lives Matter movement, and also a few GoFundMe pages that are on the event page that go towards supporting things that my dear friend Jonathan Matos was passionate about. Speaking of the GoFundMe pages, technology is an amazing thing. It doesn't like to cooperate as well as it should. So when I was making the event page for this week, I didn't realize until this morning that when one of my friends had reached out and told me that the event page was set for 7:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Instead of 7:30 p.m. Technology is like that. And so you might notice that the event page for tonight is in the past, but that doesn't mean that you still can't access it. So what you can do if you want to go to the GoFundMe pages, which I highly encourage you to do so, just type in your friendly neighborhood performers into Facebook, and you can find the event page from today and actually from last week as well. And you can find the GoFundMe pages on there. If that is a little too much, just reach out to me and say like, hey, I want to support this particular GoFundMe page for this particular thing. Can you send me a link? And I will be more than happy to send you a link to do so. So again, we have GoFundMe pages that go towards all kinds of great causes. And donate where you can, even if you just share the GoFundMe page and say, hey guys, share this, donate, get the word out. That would be awesome. Thank you guys for being here, taking time out of the holiday weekend to share the love. We have a lot of really great things happening tonight. Something that I am doing as well, as usual, is if you're here, whoa, hold on. Okay. Sorry about that. If you are watching tonight, shoot me a message, a text, type in the YouTube chat, whatever you can. Let me know you're here and I'll give you a shout out. And I also need your audience participation because I have something special that I'm going to be doing. And I promise I will get to our amazing lineup in a moment. But over quarantine, I have been drinking a lot of coffee and eating a lot of oatmeal, two essential things. And some of you might or might not know that I'm a drummer. And I don't have a drum set of my own right now. So sometimes I'm like, I need a place to do my drumming. So I have been, over quarantine, I have been building a drum set out of coffee cans and oatmeal cans. And I haven't really put in the time to like play it all yet. So I wanted to test it out with you guys tonight because we have like a short and sweet lineup and we have some time to for you guys to witness my craziness. I want to test out these coffee drums. So audience, if you're here in the YouTube chat or like message me or something, if you have something that you want me to learn on the spot on my coffee drums, like a song, if you want me to learn a song, just tell me what it is and you can watch me fumble through it. So that's something special that I'm going to share with you guys. Another thing I want to share is a poem. As usual. Thank you, Dave. So, thanks, Dave. I have the best friendly neighborhood performers talking about neighborly. Every week I come on here and I have the best performers, the nicest people who literally message me and remind me to breathe and slow down and enjoy the moment. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And thank you all here watching who have also been really great and supportive of this whole thing. I love you guys. So actually we can all take a nice deep breath all together. It's been a week. Let's all nice. Okay. So another thing that I was thinking about over this quarantine was like the ability to just go out and do things. And something that really exciting that I was able to go out and do recently was go to the dentist. A little thing, but you'd be surprised. Like you kind of miss it. You know, and I have a really good dentist that I switched to very recently, and I'm gonna promote them on here because they're amazing. They're called Gross and Sons. They're a dental office in the Northeast Philly, and Gross and Sons, awesome. And so I had made a dental appointment for this week, and I was like actually looking forward to it because my dentist is like really like gentle and nice and kind of makes the whole scary dentist situation feel so much better, believe it or not. And I'm really grateful for that. If you're looking for a good dentist, like check that out. But anyway, so as I was, getting my teeth done and all that, the dental hygienist, who is also really nice, she kept using the term tenacious tartar. She was like, man, you really have some tenacious tartar. Let me use some stronger tools in there to get that tenacious tartar out. And I was like, that is an awesome term. Like that would make a great band name or song name or poem name or something. Tenacious tartar. Like there's nothing cooler than that. And she was also like, oh, you got a little bit of bone decay and stuff, like nothing like serious. Thankfully, I'm very, very grateful in this time where we're all looking out for our health that it wasn't anything serious. But anyway, I was really like just touched by the term tenacious tartar. Audience, if at any point of the night you want me to say that 3 times fast, tenacious tartar, I totally can. So that's a thing too. So anyway, I was super inspired, and when I came home, I wrote this poem called Tenacious Tartar, and I'm going to read it to you guys now. Okay. Tenacious tartar. Went to the dentist yesterday because I've got bone decay, and if life couldn't get any harder, I've got tenacious tartar. Tenacious tartar, what? Great. Now amidst all this hate, I can't even scream and shout because my teeth will all fall out. But you know, I can't really complain about all this heavy emotional pain because at least now I can smile, have a clean mouth for a little while. You know, I'm even proud of all the traces of those I saw with masked faces I saw in the waiting room and when I went to go buy a broom. As I tongued the new spaces between my teeth, I started to think that maybe underneath, we are all just crumbs that need floss to be lifted out of all this loss. So what do you say? Will you help your fellow man or just take wherever you can? We have the potential to brush off this disease. If life bites you hard, bite back harder, please. You have a mouth, a voice to be the starter, be the one to remove this world's tenacious tartar. Thank you. Shout out to Gross and Sons Dentistry and to Rachel Miller, my awesome dental hygienist, who inspired me to write that poem. Yay! Will says, woohoo, shout out to dental hygiene. Woo, yeah. It's a little thing that we got to do, but it's important. I have some shout outs to give so far already. Super excited. My boyfriend Alex is watching. Hi, Alex. My good friend Dan Torish is watching. He's a consistent watcher, and I appreciate him very much. Hey, Dan, thanks so much for being here. And my dad is watching. Hi, Dad. Good to see you. He's always a consistent watcher too. I've noticed that as well. What keeps me going and keeps me doing this is people that continually tune in and share the love, and I really appreciate all of that. So thank you so much. Again, feel free to check out those event pages. I'm sorry. So check out those GoFundMe pages. Again, we are covering COVID-19, children who are neglected and hungry on the streets, the LGBTQ community, and the Black Lives Matter movement. So I'll be promoting those throughout the night. And again, if you're tuning in and you have a song that you would like me to spontaneously learn on my coffee can drums, let me know and I will try and play it. If not, I'm just going to do a little improv thing, but that's cool. Dan says, wash your hands, absolutely. It's an important thing to do. Later on, remind me to talk about this mask that I have here in terms of hygiene and all of that. But enough of me. I want to bring out our first performer. He has a super big heart. He's a wonderful family friend, and he's been a consistent friendly neighborhood performer throughout our time here. And I'm super glad to have him tonight. I am introducing to you guys Mr. David Levin. Everybody clap for Dave Levin. Woo!
Hello.
All right, take it away.
How is everybody? Well, my throat's closing up, so that's good news. Anyway, and I know, Brett, your dad didn't like what I did last week. He didn't tell me that, but Steve, I know. What was that? Anyway, this is a little REO Speedwagon, and it's not one you hear that often. It's called That Ain't Love. And it's tough, and I haven't rehearsed it. But thank you, Brett, again, for doing what you're doing, and it's very inspirational, and we all should contribute as we're able to GoFundMes. All right, here we go. Tell me what you think I'm feeling. You know why I do what I do. Why should you listen to a word I'm saying when it's already so clear to you? You tell me about my bad intentions. You doubt the very things I hold true. I can no longer live with your misconceptions. Baby, all I can say to you is that ain't love. I believe you got the wrong emotion. That ain't love. At least it doesn't feel like love to me. As long as I say what you want to hear, do what you want to do, be who you want me to be, you think that's love. Baby, that ain't love to me. Got to talk it over sometime. These feelings won't just disappear. I'm just gonna keep telling you what's on my mind. And if it's not what you wanna hear. Well, right now your world and mine are such different places. Through yours I wander lost and confused. I feel like I'm speaking a different language, like I really am. And the only words I haven't used. That ain't love. I believe you got the wrong emotion. That ain't love. At least it doesn't feel like love to me. As long as I say what you want to hear, do what you want to do, be who you want me to be, you think that's love. Baby, that ain't love to me. You keep telling me you know a place where your life would be better. You're making plans long range. Well, I don't know how you expect to get there when you refuse to change. Yeah. It's gonna get higher. Help. Ooh, baby, that ain't love. I believe you got the wrong emotion. That ain't love. At least it doesn't feel like love to me. As long as I say what you want to hear, do what you want to do, be who you want me to be, you think that's love. Baby, that ain't love to me. Oh, baby, that ain't love. Oh, that ain't love, 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 love. That ain't love. Oh, no. Baby, that ain't love. Oh, no. That ain't love. That ain't love. Ooh. That's one. All right. Bear with me as I pull up the next one with my slow desktop. That's going to get quicker one of these days when Verizon gets out here. When it's safe. Let's see. Yes, let's get lyrics. Slow, slow, slow. Bear with me. I was born in a small town. No, I was born in Einstein Hospital. All right. Here we go. I hope. Could be an ad first. Let's see. You can do two in a row. You can't queue it up.
Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus now bundled together. The greatest stories and characters.
So stretch it out. Stretch.
Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus.
A little more water.
Can we just talk about how great Dave is doing right now? Give Dave some encouragement. Woo!
With terrible falsetto and so on. Kevin Cronin's murder. All right, here we go.
If you're tired of reading about
Another ad.
people
All
getting
right.
rich in the stock market, this might be a good day for you. And that's
Skip
because
that.
the Motley
You couldn't skip the first one, though.
50% off its top.
Motley Fool. Not to be confused with Motley Crue. I'm not a fan of. Anyway, all right. Crazy for this girl. Now it's pixelated. Try it again. All right. Take 7. She rolls the window down. And she talks over the sound of the cars that pass us by. And I don't know why, but she's changed my mind. She look at her, she looks at me, she's got me thinking about it constantly, but she don't know how I feel. She carries on without a doubt. I wonder if she's figured out I'm crazy for this girl. Yeah, I'm crazy for this girl. She was the one to hold me the night the sky fell down. And what was I thinking when the world didn't end? Why didn't I know what I know now? She look at her, she looks at me, she's got me thinking about it constantly, but she don't know how I feel. She carries on without a doubt. I wonder if she'll figure out I'm crazy for this girl. Yeah, I'm crazy for this girl. Right now, face to face, all my fears pushed aside. And right now, I'm ready to spend the rest of my life with you. Look at her, she looks at me, she's got me thinking about it constantly, but she don't know how I feel. She carries on without a doubt. I wonder if she figured out I'm crazy for this girl. Yeah, I'm crazy for this girl. Look at her, she looks at me, she's got me thinking about it constantly, but she don't know how I feel. She carries on without a doubt. I wonder if she's figured out I'm crazy for this girl. Yeah, I'm crazy for this girl. Thank you very much. Carry on, everybody. Wait a minute, let me pause.
Oh my goodness. Aw. Give it up for Dave.
Thank you, everybody.
Oh, crazy for your performances, Dave. Great job.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Everybody give it up for Dave. Give him some love. Takes a lot to get up here and especially work with all the technology stuff that goes on. You know, since we have a shorter lineup tonight, I was kind of like, everybody, you guys can have more time, which is great. But you know, that also means that there's little transitions to work through, and Davey worked through them wonderfully. And you've actually inspired me. I usually only do 2 poems. I do one at the beginning and one at the end, but you inspired me in a lot of ways. I started the Crazy for This Girl. I love that song. And I started to think about cry. I started to think about this little girl that I'm super crazy about. It sounds really silly, but almost, yeah. So a little over a month ago, I became a hamster mom. And I have a cute little hamster daughter named Jenny, and she's a Syrian hamster, and she's adorable. I have her all over my Facebook, and I have her on my Instagram too. And you know, with this quarantine, having the emotional support of a cute little hamster has been amazing. She lifts my spirits, and she lets me like read to her and sing to her and like do all kinds of crazy stuff that like hamsters normally might not appreciate, but she seems to appreciate all of it. And I've been really crazy about her. I mean, you guys have probably seen me post crazy things about her. And I started to think about that, Dave, while you were performing. And I had written a poem. I shared it on my Instagram a while back, but I wanted to share that with you guys. Just thinking about how before I had Jenny, you know, with like everybody, quarantine living was a little bit hard, and I've gone through some stuff, and you know, just like we all have. And she kind of changed my whole life around. And so I wrote this poem that I'm inspired to share now for this girl that I'm crazy about called Jenny. And this is called Your Sweet Jenny Ways. So full of rage were the words in my heart, but then you, from your cage, gave me a fresh start. You filled a hole that was empty with loss, with your sweet little soul, and fur soft as moss. So full of song, I am, now that you're here. I want to sing out strong in your little ear. You helped me cope in your sweet Jenny ways, gave me belief and hope for much brighter days. So full of love, I am for you, my dear. You've lifted my spirits above since you have been here. That's for my sweet little hamster daughter, Jenny. I love you, girlie. Dave, thank you for inspiring that. So speaking of like being crazy about people and loving people, we're all here because that's what we do. We have lots of people to love out there. So I want to talk about the GoFundMe pages a little bit more in depth, just because we can. Thank you, Dave. Sweet phone. Alana's here. Hi, Alana. Good to see you. Hello. Speaking about people that we love and loving each other. There's so many ways that you can show your love out there. So can you guys still see, even though I'm looking at the event page right now, can you see me if I switch screens? Ah, hello. Hello. I'm not like playing peekaboo or anything, you guys can see me. Okay. So if you want to help, you know, the kids in your life that you love, there's really great GoFundMe pages out there for at-risk youth. Hey, Zahira, good to see you. Hey, I'm glad you're here. There's a really great page called Protecting the Powerless that goes towards supporting neglected children. There's also this really great program called Beat the Streets, which is it's funding towards getting kids off the street and into wrestling. It's like a wrestling program. It's really, really cool. We all need that emotional release, and what better way to get that release than wrestling? There's also ways to show your love through the Black Lives Matter movement. There's if you're unable to get out there and attend rallies and do a physical protest, I want you to know that you are amazing anyway, and what you are doing from the sidelines and from home is amazing. It's great. And if you need some support in knowing what to do to help out from home and show your love and show you're crazy about everybody from home, check out Beyond the Streets. There's a nice list of all kinds of ways that you can support at home. There's also a really good one called National Resource List, #George Floyd. All kinds of stuff on there that shows what you can do if you can't get out there. And again, if you can't, you're still doing amazing and you're still valid and you're appreciated. There's also the Philadelphia Bail Fund, so that's out there. And there's some, there's the there's the It Gets Better project. It Gets Better project. That's for the LGBTQ community. So if you're crazy about somebody in the LGBTQ community, or you are that person, check out that GoFundMe page. It's beautiful. They have like really nice videos on there, and like you can donate to support those in the LGBTQ community. Lots of great stuff. And I am crazy about all you guys. I'm so happy that you guys are here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't thank you enough. So I was talking to one of our performers who you'll see in a little bit, Will, and Will has been with me like since we were pandemic. Will has been with me since we were pandemic passion and poetry, and he was saying, "Wow, I can't believe how much we've expanded since we started. You know, we were like a small group of people, and we keep getting bigger. And I think it's amazing. Like people keep reaching out to me and saying, like, can I perform? Can I perform? And I'm making all these beautiful connections. And one of them is the next friendly neighborhood performer that's coming up in a minute. His name is Kendall Bell. Kendall A. Bell. Kendall, I met through another one of our friendly neighborhood performers, Bruce Neat, if you remember him from previous lineups. And I'm so excited to have Kendall here for the first time and to be a part of our ever growing open mic night experience. He is widely known in the poetry community. In fact, when I was talking to him, he had said he like lives and breathes poetry, and I love that. I feel that. And I'm excited to bring him out now. He has a reading series that he's going to talk about a little bit. And I'm going to bring him out now. Everybody, welcome, swinging by for the first time, our new friendly neighborhood performer, Kendall A. Bell. Woo!
Thanks, Brittany. As far as my reading series goes, obviously on hold because of everything that's going on, but it actually started many years before I was running my micro press, which is called Never Duck Press, and it was back when I was in a critique group called the Quick and Dirty Poets, which Bruce was actually in as well, and we used to do readings as a group. We'd get a feature, and then we'd read, and then we have an open mic. And as we eventually just, drifted apart, went our own ways, I started picking up a series for Maverick Duck and have different performers, usually one feature, which then grew to multiple features as I finally came up with a name for the series, which was A Poetry Tempest. So number 10, which isn't really the 10th MTP reading that I've had, but just since it's in name, was supposed to happen in April. Then it was supposed to happen in June. But as it stands, I'm going to explore some online options to see how that would go. Obviously, this has worked out well for you and everybody else you've been able to bring in and expanding it and everything. Me, I'm just going to stay in my little poetry realm when I decide to do it. But it's something I definitely want to explore. And hopefully, whenever it is that we get through all this crap, we'll be able to be in a room together, preferably the coffee house that I do it in, Evermore Coffee Roasters in Burlington, New Jersey. And, we'll be able to share a live experience again in person, which as much as I really do enjoy doing these, I don't think there's anything that can top being in a room and feeling that kind of energy. Hearing somebody read for the first time that you've never heard before, even somebody in an open mic who signed up and you don't even know them, and they just blow you away, which has happened often, which is always nice. So I'm probably not going to take up too much of your time. I'm going to read some stuff from my first full length, which I put out in 2018, which was in the making for several years. In other words, it got rejected repeatedly before I decided to just put it out through my press. But that book is called The Roads Don't Love You, which is taken from a line in a song by Jim Hayes called Happy Sad. So I was still quite married to this collection, and it had stuff from multiple years worth. This poem actually appeared in one of my chapbooks called 14 Ways to Die, which is basically 14 poems and 14 different deaths. And for my best friend, Todd. It's called Our Mutual Acquaintances. Our mutual acquaintances are in institutions and jails. Some have decided to give up by driving in front of trains. There was the son of a psychiatrist, your ex-girlfriend's brother, who lost his mind and knifed his parents to death. The crazy-eyed guy you worked with at Herman's who had a penchant for shiny shirts. He mowed down a bunch of people in New York City one afternoon. Girls and boys we walked high school hallways with, felled by cancer, car accidents, and drowning. We don't give a second thought about waking the next morning. Okay. Go a little bit lighter. This one. It's kind of about youth to pretty much now. And it's called Middle Poor. It starts with a little prologue about there's this book that was written about my hometown, Bergenfield, New Jersey, and about these 4 kids who killed themselves in a garage, in a car, carbon monoxide poison. So this woman wrote this book, and it was like wildly inaccurate about things, just focused on one group of people, no representation of the town itself. So the poem's called Middle Poor. The author of a book about 4 suicides that happened in my town summed up everyone's childhood experience there in 2 words: middle poor. My father, the garage door man. My mother, the reluctant housewife who occasionally served us Swanson's fried chicken dinners, whose strangely seasoned corn would somehow find its way into the brownie in the middle of the aluminum tin. It is a scent that I actually have nostalgia for. As a middle poor child, I had a big wheel and bikes my father would find put out by trash in front of other yards that he would refurbish with different shades of Krylon paint. I think about how rich I felt wearing Lee jeans and hideous striped shirts my mother bought at Sears as I count the change in my pocket and realize it is all the money I have that isn't going towards bills. Middle poor to poor in a small town filled with people cashing their unemployment checks while I come home from work and peel off clothes that smell like burnt bread, onions, and vinegar, and earn me enough to maintain my internet, my cable, and just enough to pay my car on time. This milk white, freckled, half Italian that shares absolutely nothing with the likes of Snooki and JWoww, not even the right area code. This creator of lines, this maker of sandwiches. This one is lighter yet. Try to stay away from stuff that's too heavy, but kind of hard because a lot of what I write is heavy. This one's called My Female Friends Are Mostly Brunettes. My female friends are mostly brunettes who write poems when they're not doing readings in the Midwest or visiting museums or fighting off type 2 diabetes or fighting themselves in a barely lit living room with a glass of wine. They are dyeing their hair, joining OkCupid, flossing in their bra and panties in the kitchen. They are posting cute statuses on Facebook, sending drunken tweets on Twitter, getting high on Tumblr. They are moving into big-ass houses in the country. They are making little books in big cities. They are flaunting their curves in cursive. Okay. Never been the thinnest person in the world. So lately I've been working on losing weight. And I don't know, I don't remember when I wrote this one, but thought it was amusing. It's more like a rant almost. It's called I Am Everything I've Ever Eaten. I am every slice of pizza from every pizza shop I have ever set foot in. I am boxes of Cheez-Its and more cups of coffee than I'll ever be able to count. I am Snapple Peach iced tea. I don't drink it anymore, but it's there, lingering in the back of my eyes, left a dark mark on my right toe. I am bacon. Holy fuck, I am bacon times infinity. I am malted milk balls and Tootsie Rolls. I am lots of soft serve, especially in my midsection. I am well preserved, so fuck you, cancer. I've already beaten you down once. I am Lotrel swimming down my throat, controlling the flow of blood. I am salad from Panera, from Salad Works, from Wawa, from my kitchen, helping me to keep a healthy sheen. I am air. I am a bullet. This one is called You Need the Darkness If You Want to See Stars. An echo through the humid air, an ache deep in shins keeps you grounded, keeps you hidden from the passing cars and the sound of the mailman delivering bills and death notices. At night, between the raindrops and floating pieces of tree sheddings, you crane your head up into the night's thickness, look for intervention, seek a solace only solitude can provide. Over and over, you cut at scars, hide out in your trenches, erase the pieces you despise, one by one. This is called The Night We Tried to Run Away. I didn't make it back in time to pick you up from work. You gave in to your nerves, hid in a fort made of blankets. I made the mistake of texting you the words, I love you. You enrolled in culinary classes at the local college. I spent the night convincing myself that you would ditch me for a late night Walmart run. You couldn't bear to share the space between your arms with me. This is called You Were the Wrong Exit. I wore you like a bruise, weirdly shaped and purpled on the back of my hand. There is no pleasure in that kind of pain. The slightest graze and I wince. Your face is a map to a dead-end road. In a matter of days, you turned yellow, remained only a nuisance, a faded book page, unable to inflict. This one was actually published. Wish I can remember the name of the journal it was in. I'd probably have to actually look at my website to remember the name of the journal it was published in online. But it's called I Am Breaking My Bones to Fit into Places. I desperately need to be like the curve of your legs, the arch of your foot, like the Golden Gate Bridge, the coastline of Nova Scotia, the sleeves of your jacket. I push my achy joints to their breaking point to touch the things you've left behind, like your headphones, the cord balled up in knots, like the dog who's confused and missing you. I listen closely for the snap. It is when I love you the most. It is the only gift I can give you now that you've put on your boots and took that swan dive. I want to be that brave. I want us to fuck boneless. I want redemption. This one is called Are You Dazzled by the Same Constellation? Which is actually a line in the song Bright by Smith. The one that shines brighter than any night sky that draped over our old outdated house. You raise a finger and play connect the dots with the stars, each shining like holes in the black paper of a light break. We look for Venus, wonder if other galaxies can see into our front yard, if they stare at the overgrown evergreens and judge us. I slip my goosebumped arm around your back, your head still craned to the sky. You are caught in some other orbit. I'll read a couple more. This one was published in a journal called Yellow Chair Review, which does not exist anymore, which is probably half of my publications at this point. It's called Oh Jupiter. You can swallow all of your neighbors whole, suck them into your orbit, and bleed them dry of their nutrients. Grow like Ursula in the deep of the ocean, holding Triton's scepter, becoming more and more powerful. Your permanent bruise shifting, spinning. Who hurt you? Who left you a shell of a giant? We all marvel at you on Earth, watch you through curved glass, see Hubble's pictures stalking you like interplanetary paparazzi. You never wane. You stay docile, unfazed. Our feet would freeze upon entry to your massive mouth. We write odes to you, and you just spin and spin, introverted and filled with scars and resignation. The last one I'm going to read is the last poem in my book, The Rose Don't Love You. It's called Monsters. You would put rat poison in the shopping cart as you and your mother walked the aisles of Kmart. It was a not-so-subtle hint that you would rather spend the remaining years of your youth caged among junior criminals than spend another day under siege in what is supposed to be the safest place, your own home. You do not speak of the beatings, the times he threatened to kill both of you, only the relief of his death, the heart attack that saved your life. You have pictures of the three of you in the basement, buried in yellow binder sleeves, evidence of what a monster could look like. You pass the cemetery where his shell rests on your daily drive to work. Tell me that you have no idea where he is buried. You no longer jump at the slightest touch, fists bared. You sleep above the covers now, exposed and tranquil. Thanks.
All right, give it up for Kendall. Woo! All right, snap, snap, snaps. You are a poet. Snaps for Kendall. Love it, love it. Thank you so much, Kendall. That was awesome, Kendall. Wow. Thank you for sharing so much of your words with us tonight. I'm so excited to have you as part of the lineup, and your words are beautiful, heavy or not. Something I really appreciate about poetry is that it can be as heavy or as light as you want, and I always appreciate some good heavy poetry. It comes from the soul, and whatever you're feeling in your soul at the time, you know, that's what you're going to get. And I appreciate all of it, everything that you've shared. You had mentioned that Kendall and I had been talking about how we work in food services, and which reminds me of some GoFundMe pages that I want to point out. Kendall, thank you for your food service work. Thank you for providing people with food and nourishment and, you know, all of that. You're doing great work. if you want to support those who are out of work right now, there's a great spreadsheet on the event page. It's called the virtual tip jar, and it shows you different ways you can donate to the Philly virtual tip jar, where you can donate to restaurant workers in Philly who need a little bit of assistance. So please feel free to check that out. There's also one for restaurant workers. And also, speaking of food, there's the Food Not Bomb Solidarity GoFundMe page, where they are giving out, officially they are giving out care packages with essential products that you need during this time. So please check that out on the GoFundMe pages, and for ways that you can check that out and attend where they are to get those care packages. Gothic Gidget is tuning in. Hi, nice to meet you. Welcome. Thanks for being here. She said lovely, Kendall. Kendall, that was all lovely. Give it up for Kendall. Woo! Speaking of essential products, I wanted to point out there's a really, really great website on that I put on the event page. It's called Mess in a Bottle, and it's a Black-owned business, and they have the absolute awesome, like the best masks, and it's all positivity in some sort of way, where it's mental health or being a part of the Black community. There's lots of great stuff on there, and I want to show you guys this just to promote Mess in a Bottle. This is one that I got very recently that I'm kind of proud about. It says, "On my way to therapy, BRB." Sorry, it says, "On my way to therapy, BRB." And I'm really excited about it. I do virtual therapy right now, but when I'm able to go out, and a huge shout out to my therapist, Jeff, when I'm able to go out and see him again, I have a special mask that I can wear, so you can be safe while you're going out and getting your mental health in check. So please please go ahead and check out Mess in a Bottle. It's great. Well, speaking of coffee, Kendall had that great line, just being like full of coffee, and I get that. I'm just constantly drinking coffee over this quarantine, and that's okay. Whatever makes you happy, it's okay. With a great amount of coffee consumption comes a great amount of coffee cans, and like as I had said earlier, I have been working on accumulating coffee cans and oatmeal cans, and I've been working on making my own drum set because I am a drummer and I don't have my own drum set right now. So this is how I've been improvising, and I haven't gotten a chance to like really try these out yet, but I want to try these out for you now. I haven't gotten any requests, but I have something that I want to try on my own, but I want to take my headphones out just so you can hear this, hopefully better. Performers or somebody, give me a signal that you can hear me. Hey, can you hear me? Okay, thanks. So as I had mentioned, Your Friendly Neighborhood Performers is dedicated to my dear friend Jonathan Matos, who was all about superheroes. Like, he was super into comic books and all of that. And after he passed away, Weezer came out with a song. I mean, it's not even, their album's not even out yet, but they came out with this beautiful song called Hero. And I was watching the singer Rivers Cuomo, who just turned 50. I was watching him perform on these like Zoom sessions he was doing. He was doing this beautiful version of Hero. And then they came out with a video. And I really, I did like a cover of it, and I was thinking of Jonathan because they had like a really nice line about Spider-Man and all of that, and just, you know, being a hero. And Weezer's been doing this just, they have this, you have to check out the video later. They, it's all for like essential workers and like dedicated to them, and it's really beautiful. And everybody out there, you can be a hero in any way. Whatever you're doing, you're a hero. Just being here, supporting me while I fumble through this tonight, you're a hero in my eyes. But I was thinking that in honor of Jonathan and in honor of all of the heroes out there, I want to do my first drum improv and I promise you, I have not done this before. I know everybody knows I'm a Weezer fan, but I have not done this before. I did not practice. But I want to try this for you all. I'm going to do a coffee drum version of, I'm going to play my coffee drums to Weezer's Hero. And I'm going to play it off of my phone. I hope that you'll be able to hear it now that I have my headphones off. Let me know if you really can't hear it, then we can figure it out later. But anyway, here we go. This is my coffee drum rendition of Weezer's Hero. Okay.
When I was a kid, I thought I'd save the world. Running around and chasing all the criminals. Swinging on a web, flying in the sky. Shooting lasers from my eyes. But now I know it never was my destiny. It's not my place in life, not who I'm meant to be. And I don't need the glory, I don't need the fame. And I don't wanna wear this face. 'Cause on the inside, I know it won't last. On the inside, I'm an outcast. They build you up and then they gonna tear you down. They love you, then they hate you if you wear a crown. It's not that I don't love to solve a mystery, but life is hard enough with one night. Your silence is the voice of a new generation, and I couldn't live up to all of your expectations. I'd hammer down hard like a mighty fist, and disappear like I don't exist. And on the inside, I know it won't last. On the inside, I'm an outcast. Everybody needs a hero, but I'm not everybody else, so I belong. Yeah, I belong. Yeah, I belong. Oh, yeah. I was trying to be a hero, but I was lying to myself. I walk alone. Yeah, I belong. Yeah, I belong. Well, everybody needs a hero.
Okay, cool. Ow! If you haven't seen Weezer's video, It's adorable. There's just like people passing a really nice note that goes to essential workers, and it's super cute. Thank you for indulging me in my first coffee drum rendition of Weezer's Hero. You guys are my heroes for lending your ears to that. Thank you so much. Okay. I'm gonna put my headphones back in, just because I feel a little more secure with them in. So, and I'm checking in. Let's see. Thank you, Dan. Dan gave me a really nice shout out. Thank you. My dad, who is watching and who's also a drummer, he said, "Oh, wow, you're turning into me." That's flattering because my dad's a great drummer. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dad. Thank you guys for indulging me in that. That was actually really fun. Speaking of on my way to therapy, that was like kind of like a nice therapeutic release. Alex, thank you, Alex. He's so blessed. I'm blessed to have you guys. So if you want to see me do that again sometime, let me know. But if you'd rather me like, just recycle the coffee cans, that's cool too. Yeah. Oh, speaking of music, got to check out the drum. Speaking of musicians, my dear friend Finn just checked in. Hi, Finn. Hi, and that was great. Anyway, maybe I'll keep doing that. I have an idea for like another thing for that. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you, everybody. I love you. Speaking of performance artists, not me. If you go on the event page, there's a GoFundMe page that goes towards supporting performance artists who aren't able to share their craft right now. But that's a huge reason why I do this. Because I want you lovely, talented people to be able to share your craft and your souls with everybody. And I really appreciate you being here. Speaking of beautiful souls, again, we are here. We're supporting the LGBTQ community. Check out that It Gets Better project. It's awesome. And again, beautiful souls. I didn't get to mention yet the GoFundMe pages that are on the event page that are in honor of my hero, Jonathan Matos. There's a really good GoFundMe page on there called the John Matos Memorial Fund, and it supports funding for the Bethel Chapel Church to become handicapped accessible. Jonathan was really pushing for that to happen, so please check that out. There's also a link to Shriners Hospital. Jonathan was taken care of as a kid when he had medical complications by Shriners Hospital, and he was really passionate about it. I did it on my own, Dave. Okay. Thank you, though. Jonathan was really passionate about making sure that kids at Shriners Hospital now who need medical attention get it. So there's a really great donation page on the event page that you can check out for that. Love you, Jonathan. Still thinking about you all the time. You're with us. I know it. You're helping me get through it and helping us all get through it. Thank you. Okay, so please check those out. Help out our Black Lives Matter movement, the Black community. There's a really great website if you're looking for a good place to do your grocery shopping. Online shopping is like super important right now because of everything. There's a website called We Buy Black. It's a Black-owned shopping website, and they have really good prices and stuff. So check that out. Support all your people. speaking of supporting all your people, I want to bring up my next friendly neighborhood performer. Hosting is still new. It's still a thing that I'm figuring out, and kind of like as far as like what's too small of a lineup, what's too big of a lineup, and like figuring all the logistics of that has been a thing that I've been dealing with throughout the week and all that. I'm grateful to have the lineup that I have, and I was seeking some advice from the next friendly neighborhood performer, Will, who I actually got to perform at his in-person open mics, and he gave me some really good advice, and he's just incredible. And he was with us for Pandemic Passion and Poetry, and he is now a welcome friendly neighborhood performer. Please give it up for my dear friend, Will Costello! Woo!
Thanks, Brittany. Yeah, thank you for the shout out, Brittany. So mine as well. I'll go perform 3 songs for you. So let's get that started. 1, 2, 3, 4. Since I left you, my face is like a picture locked in your chest. I have no name. I'll make space for all that I let you replace. Never thinking that there'd be a next. I have no name. I have no name. Sweet dream keeps you tethered to me, babe. The first time's a lonely ride. I hope you found another to smooth your features, to block the cold air that came from your breath. Tell her she's nothing on your darkest nights, and never get the next day. I have no name. I have no name. Cheap string keeps you tethered to me, babe. The first night's a lonely ride. Leave him now. Leave me now. 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 All right, that first one's called Since I Left You. It was a song that I played at the last in-person open mic I did. I hope I did it better justice there, because the first time I performed it, I had written it, or I was still working on it like 2 seconds before, and I'm hosting this thing. So it wasn't the best rendition of it. But these next 2 songs are songs I've written since the last time I performed, which, says the hiatus, and then Mike explains my absence from these things in the recent run of them. This next one doesn't have a name yet. The next song will. I apologize for these absent titles, but let's kick this one off. Fake it till she's at a bed, you all alone, and left to wonder to yourself, where did it go wrong? Tired memory without purpose, slices into miles of stillness, rendering you insensible to what you could have. saw the day you thought and thought and thought and thought. Last night after you looked into her eyes and saw the day you were and nowhere else. Look her in the eye and tell her that you love her because you do, you do, you do, you do, you do. Time has only proven that she makes you happy. She does, she does, she does, she does, she does. Last night after you looked into her eyes and saw the day you thought and thought and thought and thought. Last night after you looked into her eyes and saw the day you were and nowhere else. Quiet down and listen to the sound of a beautiful boring song. Quiet down and listen to the sound of a beautiful boring song. Okie doke. On to this last one. Just make sure I'm tuned up before I do it. This next song has a title, fortunately, so I can't find my tuner. Where'd it go? I'm hopeless about it. There's a nice shot of my legs just there in these shorts. So this is the top half, the more professional half. The lower half is the I'm at home performing open mic half. I can't find it, so I'm going to assume that I'm in tune, which is never a great assumption to make, but what can you do? So this next one called At the Station. Let's kick it off. This is the last one. Thank you for the company. I know it's not too much to ask for, but thank you. I'll be sure to make more visits with the kids and some more pictures. Pray if I put it up the road, I'll make it be too long. Remember spending school nights over home when I go to your shoulder, wondering where you've been. Maybe we were already home. Maybe we were already home. Please come 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 home. You're no longer much to fear, but I can only imagine you with the tide we made by yesterday. that ebbs and flows of my mistakes. Delete every new message. You're the worst part of my life that I can't replace. Oh, oh. Buried in our rusty brow, our stupid jokes, tasting sound, falls a cloud he made. Pass me by, please forget, just pretend we never met. Pass me by, please forget, just pretend we never met. Who am I to feel sad for the man kissed away? Who am I to feel sad for the man kissed away? His family, 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 his family. Leave me alone, leave me alone, oh, 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 leave me alone. Leave me alone. And that's it. 3 songs. Thanks for listening and watching, whoever is doing that. Really appreciate it. And Brittany, thanks for having me on.
All right. Woo! Give it up for Will Costello! Woo! Speaking of like whoever's doing that, whoever's watching and stuff, I am just okay. Speaking of love and all of that, I want to give a huge shout out to Isabel McCreevy. She's always like rocking out in the comments and supporting Will. And I think it's just Will and Isabel are boyfriend and girlfriend, and they're super cute. And every time Will performs, there's just this beautiful aura of love, and it's really nice. Will, you got some love for your knee there. Apparently it was enticing. Thank you guys for loving each other, and thank you guys all who are watching for sharing the love with us all. This is awesome. Big shout out to you guys. I ship you super hard. And I don't say ship you very often. Anyways, yeah, I get it though. I think one of the nice comfy things about online open mics is that you can kind of like rock the shorts and stuff. I usually wear like a whole like skirt thing, and like I don't know, I usually have lipstick on, but you know, tonight's a comfy night, you know, why not? So thanks so much, Will. Everybody give it up for Will. Woo! Speaking of love, again, check out all those GoFundMe pages. We have such lots of great stuff on there. And again, if it's hard to find the event page because it's in the past, well, what is time anymore? Please reach out, and I have a whole list of links that I can send you for anything that you need and anything that you want to donate to or share or anything. So thank you. So I have, because I'm feeling a lot of love with my first coffee drum thing, I'm going to do another coffee drum thing. Again, for my hero, Jonathan Matos, and the dear sweet Spider-Man. I'm going to take my headphones out again, and I'm going to try this out again. Haven't practiced it, but not as familiar as I am with the Weezer tune. But it's a minute long. Bear with me. I want to try and do the Spider-Man theme song on my coffee drums. So run away now if you can. I'm just kidding. Hoping you can hear me. Sorry if that hurt your ears. This will hurt your ears too. Okay, this is the Spider-Man theme song. Here we go. It's super cute. I am in love with it. Hang on. Okay. All right. Here we go. Put this up here. You have to appreciate these lyrics. I'm holding the phone up as if you can see it. My goodness. Okay, I got super distracted because that was really cute. But I'm gonna keep working on that one. But I don't know. Maybe the coffee can thing, the coffee drum thing will be a continual open mic experience if you want it to be. I'll practice my craft now that you guys have motivated me to do so. I'm gonna put my headphones back in. Thanks for listening to that. What'd you think? Check out, like, if you look up Spider-Man theme song, there's all kinds of like really cute like 1960s like versions of it, and I am in love. It's great. Thanks for indulging me in that. Okay. Thanks, Dave. I love my friendly neighborhood performers. They're so encouraging. When I was like, I'm gonna fill up some time with my coffee drums, they were all cool with it. I appreciate that. Awesome. Okay, so we're getting a little bit towards the end here. Again, check out the GoFundMe pages and all of that. There's such good stuff out there. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and let me know. And if there's anything that I don't know, I will look up or reach out to the people that I know that can help you out. There's something I want to do now, speaking of like promoting good performers and stuff, and being a Weezer fan. Being a Weezer fan has given me a lot of opportunities to connect with different people, and it's connected me with a really cool dude named Dan Hughes. Dan Hughes is a Weezer fan, and we connected, and he is in the UK, and I think his internet connection's a little wonky again, you know, bearing with technology and all of that. But he is an incredible musician, and he's actually done his own open mics, like led them before. He's great. And he had asked that I promote one of his songs on here. He can't come and do it live right now, but I have a video that I want to show you. Again, his name is Dan Hughes. He's incredible. And I'm absolutely delighted to share with you a song that he wrote called Feels Like Thunder. This is the US version. Feels Like Thunder US version. So give me 1 second to just get this situated. Some of you might or might not know, this is like only my second time using the platform that we use and like hosting the whole thing by myself. I used to have Jonathan to do my tech stuff, and this is me doing it on my own. And I learned that there's a share screen function on here. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Whoa, what's on her screen? Dan Hughes is on my screen. And I'm going to share his song with you guys. It's really great. Feels Like Thunder. It's super catchy. I walk around with it in my head all the time. And I'm going to share it with you guys now. So give me 1 second. Again, if you're here, you want to shout out to you guys. Send some love, positive vibes out there. I feel it. Thank you. Okay. Let me get this set up. And I need you guys to talk to me and be like, yes, I can see that. No, I can't see that kind of thing. If you can give me that support, that would be awesome. So I'm going to share my screen with you now. Now, if somebody can, Kendall, if you can maybe give me a thumbs up if you can see this, and people watching, if you could give me some sort of indication that you can see this. Can you guys see a YouTube screen right now? Thank you, Kendall. Appreciate it. Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Dave. You guys are great. Okay. So without further ado, this is Feels Like Thunder from my wonderful Weezer friend, Dan Hughes. Give it up for Dan Hughes. Woo!
Driving down the road, there's a field on the other side. Feels like fire, and blue lights in my mind. And I feel forever, even through stormy weather. Feels like thunder every time I hear it, and it feels like thunder. Tell me you feel the same. Another step forward, not another one wrong. Caught in the days of desperation, and that's why I'm singing this song. And I feel forever, even through stormy weather. Feels like thunder every time I hear it, and it feels like thunder. Tell me you feel the same. Glittering roses and a pocket full of dreams. You're the reason I get up every morning and I can feel free. And I feel forever, even through stormy weather. Feels like thunder every time I hear it, and it feels like thunder. Tell me, do you feel the same? Feels like thunder.
Okay. Oh! All right. Give it up for Dan Hughes. Woo! We love you, Dan. Thank you for sharing your video with us. Can't wait to have you live with us. Can you hear me okay and see me okay and everything? Okay. I stopped sharing my screen. Hang on. There we go. Awesome. Thanks. All right. Woo! Give it up for Dan Hughes. Again, he's got a ton of stuff on YouTube, and he's an incredible performer, an open mic host, and all of that. So please check out his work if you're into that kind of music. Thank you, Dan. I was feels like thunder. Anyway, I'll work on that too. But thank you so much, Dan. We're heading towards the end of the show, but I want to share with you, before I bring my performers out and do bows and thank yous, again, please go ahead and check out all those great GoFundMe pages on the event page. If the event page is floating around in the universe and you can't find it, reach out to me and I can give you any GoFundMe page that you need. I can hook you up with whatever you need. Again, we're supporting those struggling from COVID-19, at-risk children, the LGBTQ community, Black Lives Matter movement, and things that causes that the wonderful Jonathan Matos was passionate about. So please check all of that out. Earlier today, I had mentioned, speaking of the GoFundMe pages, I had mentioned Mess in a Bottle and my little therapy mask. We're all on the, I'm going to share a poem with you. We're all on the road to the mental health recovery from all of this. And I've been lucky enough to be able to do virtual sessions with my my therapist, Jeff, to keep my own mental health in check. And he has this mantra that always keeps me grounded whenever I'm feeling like I don't know where I am in the universe and I don't know why things are happening and all of that. He always tells me, you're exactly where you're supposed to be right now. And it's incredibly grounding. And I feel that way right now. I wasn't sure about tonight and how it was going to go. But I feel like I'm exactly where I need to be right now. And I hope you guys feel that too. If you feel that, type in the chat or something. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be right now. Anyway, yeah, if you're feeling like super grounded, let me know. Anyway, so I wrote this this poem when I was kind of just going through the motions of stuff, and then thanks, Dave. Every time I see Dave's name come up in the chat, I like breathe. I'm like, speaking of emotional support. Anyway, so that's a mantra that really helps me, and hopefully it can help you guys too. And I wrote this poem when I was kind of just like, your head kind of goes in outer space and you're dealing with a lot of stuff. And I wrote this poem called Exactly Where You're Supposed to Be. And I'll read it to you now. That unbearable feeling when you tell yourself you're fine, but then your mind goes reeling and your heart spins out of line. That incredible desire to be set on how you feel instead of setting on fire the moment things become real. That so wonderful sinking when you found a new best friend, but then you ruin it thinking this will just come to an end. That ever-increasing need to always try to control how relationships proceed till it hurts your very soul. That lovely lightness inside when you finally let go. Just go along for the ride. Grow as you're supposed to grow. That notion that you just might still have a beautiful day and carry on with your fight, even when it's not okay. That wonderful new notion when you can finally see that though life stays in motion, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Thank you, Jeff. Huge shout out to you. Again, exactly where we're supposed to be right now. Thank you guys for being here with me. You ground me. You make this happen. You're saving the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Speaking of saving the world and grounding me and being here exactly where they're supposed to be because I asked them to. No, they volunteered for this. I want to bring up, so my dear friend Will Costello had to step out, but applause to Will Costello. Friendly bow to you. Thank you for being here, Will. I'm going to bring up my performers, my beautiful, wonderful, friendly neighborhood performers who are still with me right now. And we're going to close out for the night. I'm going to bring them up. We'll be coming back to you soon. I'll be updating you on when we are returning live again. And I'll be happy to see you again. Check out all those GoFundMe pages. There's a fly. Sorry. Check out all those GoFundMe pages. In the meantime, you can still do that whenever. So please donate where you can, share where you can. But without further ado, I'm going to bring up dear Kendall A. Bell. Woo! And Dave Levin. Dave, real quick, can you do like a singing face? I was trying to take a screenshot of you earlier, but like, can you do like a singing voice for me?
Last week looked like I was constipated, but you know.
I was worried about that.
A little bit. Lauren made some kind of comment. Lauren's out at a campground with her boyfriend, not alone though. Anyway, she is of age, but how about that's stupid.
Yes, there.
So, would you do the same thing? Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. Love it. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I got you in.
Cool. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, so I take screenshots like mid-performance just because I like to capture. It's kind of like if you're at an in-person open mic and you take pictures and stuff. I kind of do that with the snip tool. If you guys are familiar with snip tool, it saves your life. It's like you're taking selfies and stuff. I take pictures of everything with snip tool, so it kind of makes me feel like I'm there. Anyway, so I want to. So Dave, Kendall, take a bow. You did it. Ah! Thank you so much, my friendly neighborhood performers. Thanks for sticking around and thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Ooh, of course. We'll be coming back at you. And I hope you all have a wonderful, safe holiday weekend, whatever you're doing.
Thank you.
Hang in
my
there.
House.
Good. Stay safe. The best way to do it is, stay safe at home. And everybody, peace and love to you all. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye.
Thanks again, Brett.
Of course.
Yeah, thanks, Brett. Bye.
Bye.